Now come on, a quick target, focus point. If you really wanted to get success for AFM exam, you required two components. Number one, syllabus coverage. Number two, exam techniques. Both are important. The success of the ACCA professional exams required hard working and equally important, the smart working. With this, with this boot camp sessions and all the material, we will provide you the support about the smart work. Furthermore, 5 core points that you should have to bear in your mind for the success of the exam, or for the success target. You need to bear the 5 core points. Number 1, you have to cover 100% knowledge of the syllabus. Coverage of 100% syllabus. Number 2, must have to bear in your mind the practice you required for the AFM pass exam from September 18 to March June 23. And you have to practice these questions with exam conditions as max as possible, which is known as exam simulation. AFM practice questions, past exam questions with exam simulation. Exam simulation. Sir, what is the difference between practice and exam simulation? Actually, exam simulation means that you practice the exam questions assuming you are sitting in the examination hall. And if you assume that I'm sitting in the examination hall, some ingredients or some key points you have to maintain. Number 1, avoid all distractions. Switch off your mobile, shut down the door, open the system, and open CBE format. Number 1. Number 2, for exam simulation, if you're attempting 25 marks question, so 25 marks question required the technical plus professional skill marks almost 50 to 55 minutes. So lock the time and start question, and be committed that I have to attempt the question within 50 with a required timer, 50 minutes or 55 minutes. Number 3, you have to attempt the question like you are attempting the question in the examination hall. So in the examination hall, you have to attempt calculation plus theory, including the professional skill marks aspects as well. So all these things you need to incorporate with your practice. That's called exam simulation. Avoid distraction, lock the timer, attempt calculation, theory, PS, and so on. And once your time is over, for example, after 50 minutes, your time completed, for example, and assuming you have attempted only 22 marks question out of 25. So mark that point, I have attempted 22 marks question till required time, and then you need to complete the rest of the question. Take further time and complete rest of the question. After that, compare your answer with the model answer or the suggested answers. And then keep moving, keep practicing the question in this pattern. You will definitely feel the difference, especially the time management. Especially number 2, examiner psychology, in fact, as well. And your performance as well. So this is called quality practice. Focus on quality. So once again, practice question with exam simulation. We will cover this point later on more about this. So first, syllabus knowledge. Number 2, practice question. Number 3, with simulation. Furthermore, don't avoid the mock exam and have to attempt the mock exam with exam conditions. And the fifth and last point, always remember, the examination day, you need to perform 3 things. So prepare for that before the exam. Whenever you are attempting the question, bear in your mind, the exam equation is equal to, means you need to complete your equation, perform with calculation, equal weightage of the theory and incorporating the PSMs. So 5 core components. Later on with this video, we will cover how to handle the PSMs as well. So these are the target points that you should bear in your mind, or I must say that take out a print hard copy of this slide and attach in front of your study table. That I have to perform with these targets. That's the point. Okay, come on. Sir, let's talk about something about the boot camp. So number 1, the boot camp initial session agenda. For this particular video, the agenda includes, first of all, we will cover the objective of AFM Boot-Camp. I will provide you the guidance that what's the objective of this particular boot camp. Number 2, with this boot camp, we will discuss the aspect of bridging the expectation gap, including 4 more components. First agenda is this. Second agenda, what's the practice material, details the metrics of the question, a metrics of the past exam questions. Number 3, AFM Bootcamp inside, what inside the bootcamp. And last one, AFM Bootcamp execution, how the bootcamp will execute. So let's start with the first aspect, the AFM Bootcamp objective. And after that, we will cover the second phase, point number 2, 3, 4. First one, bootcamp objective, the objective of this particular bootcamp. Students, with this bootcamp, you will get AFM exam practice material. I will provide the guidance or the videos and the documents include the smart techniques and my suggested solution. So, is this the objective? No. This is actually the material we will provide. But what the objective of this particular material? The objective is actually bridging the gap. So what you are saying about, what do you mean about bridging the gap? Actually, you have to ask yourself right now, whatever you are preparing, revising, practicing the AFM question, is that equal to the examiner expectation? Or I can say that whatever the efforts you are putting according to the examiner expectation, if you ask yourself and the answer is something gray, that you are not confident, so you must have to obey the guidance with this AFM bootcamp. So this AFM bootcamp actually plays the role for bridging the gap between your preparation and examiner expectation. That's the important thing. Just putting your effort without considering the examiner expectation, what examiner expecting with do's and don'ts. If you are not performing in this way, so that means there are some issues. You are not actually in a right way towards the success of the exam. Preparing the exam, but not towards the success of the exam. Other way around, I must say, This picture is showing your preparation. You are doing preparation revision, huh? And your examiner having some expectation. This bootcamp actually provide you support to lift your position up, and that is called bridging the gap. So this is what my mindset behind this complete coverage of videos and the material and so on. So that is the point. So very focused. The objective of the bootcamp is to provide you bridging the gap, your revision and examiner expectation. So may God Allah willing, after the bootcamp videos and the material, you will be able to uplift your position of your preparation according to the examiner expectation. So first thing, I must say, first thing, with the point bridging the expectation gap, how to bridge this expectation gap, we will cover 4 components. Number 1, quickly review the AFM complete syllabus insights. Number 2, I will provide the AFM revision guidance. Number 3, AFM exam diagnosis. Exam diagnosis means based on the past paper, we will diagnose here how much part the calculation and how much part the theory, and how to handle the PSMs as well. And 4th one, the smart techniques to handle TMKS, means technical marks, plus PSMKS, professional skill marks. So let's start this discussion of the bridging the expectation gap with syllabus areas. So the very important thing you need to bear in your mind that I have to cover first 100% all syllabus component, either with the book material, notes material, or with the past papers. But this is what about a checklist, what inside the syllabus areas, because examiner has already said that no tolerance, that if we observe that your means a student exam paper, means your attempt, your answers having a gap and reflecting something that you are grey with coverage of the syllabus areas, no tolerance. So if the examiner observes that you haven't completed the syllabus areas, that's very difficult for you to qualify the exam. So what inside the syllabus area? What inside the syllabus area? Core syllabus areas. So first of all, before start the revision, you have to highlight what are the core syllabus areas. There are 4 syllabus areas in the syllabus. 4 syllabus areas in the syllabus. Number 1, advanced investment appraisal. Number 2, financial engineering. Number 3, acquisition, merger and more. Number 4, role of senior financial manager or role as a senior financial manager. These are the 4 core areas of the syllabus. And I can say this is what the umbrella of AFM. This is the syllabus umbrella of AFM. The very important thing, don't make a mistake that you just cover the limited area of the syllabus. No. Examiner particularly state that first of all, the first very important thing is that we expect from the student, from the candidate, that during the exam, they perform in a manner that the student have covered all areas of the syllabus. So these are not the selected area of the syllabus. These are whatever these 2 slides that are the complete areas of the syllabus. So first of all, you have to split your revision part in the 4 components. Okay. Number 1, the advanced investment appraisal, including What inside the investment appraisal? That's NPV, that's APV. Number 2, either NPV or APV, that's foreign investment appraisal. Number 3, BSOP, real options. Number 4, MIRR, duration capital rationing. Number 5, WAG and the complications, including beta complications or beta calculations. Risk and uncertainty, sensitivity analysis, value at risk, more and more. That is first part of the syllabus area. Another part of the syllabus area, that's the terminology I've used here, financial engineering. You can say that risk management. Financial engineering include forex risk management, interest rate risk management, swap, and the bond valuation. That's the second area of the syllabus. Third area of the syllabus, that includes, that's all these things are one. You can take all these things are one, although it's a very broader area of the syllabus, but consider all three things in one area. Number 1, acquisition mergers. Number 2, business reorganization. Number 3, financial reconstruction. That's third area of the syllabus. And the fourth area of syllabus, that's called the role as a senior financial manager, that exclusive the theoretical area. But don't ignore that. You people invest very limited time with the role of senior financial manager, but I must say you have to cover this area of syllabus with full throttle, with full potential, including ratios and trends, dividend policy, transfer pricing, financial strategy, means mode of financing, business and financial risk, strategic issues of the multinationals, agency problems, management appraisals, free trade, trade agreements, international financial markets, ethics of financial management. You can consider as a checklist. You can consider it as a checklist. That have you covered the role of senior financial manager with all these contents or not? So if you are going to start your revision matter or the last month working for the AFM, first of all, make it clear that this is what the syllabus area that you have to cover. Number 1. So all clear till now? Can you please reply me? Your participation is very important. Even you people are not able to take the live session, but you people are part. If you people are watching the video on my YouTube channel, I must say that if you have any question, you can ask me. The WhatsApp group that we have already made, webinar, AFM webinar March 23 by Hussain Qazi. You have to join, and the admin also sharing the message here, the WhatsApp group. You can ask the question with that particular WhatsApp group. After the today's session, I will open the session for all, but do remember that the session is only available for student interaction, for productive discussions, not for the marketing purpose. So that's the point. So first of all, the syllabus area. Number 2, another point. Yes, another very important point. If you're going to start your revision for the last month, the very first thing, you must be motivated that you have to reach towards the success. Means your focus area is the success. But what is the equation of the AFM exam success? The equation is that be committed, be motivated, that you have good enough knowledge of entire syllabus, good enough knowledge, plus exam technique. So equation must be balanced. If you just put with this equation the knowledge but not the learning of exam technique, you are not able to qualify the exam. If you just learn the exam technique by solving the past papers, but you left some knowledge area of the syllabus, That's also not a part of the success. So be careful. At the time of revision, ensure that you have covered all the syllabus areas. And number two, whatever the exam technique you have learned during your regular studies or whatever I suggest here, you have to apply these exam technique with the exam condition. So practice the questions with exam conditions or exam simulation. For example, if I suggest you something related to investment appraisal and today's webinar is over and I suggest you one question to attempt. So one thing is practice and another thing is practice with exam condition. What you should do, you have to maximize the practice of latest exam question with the exam simulation. Assuming exam simulation, exam condition means you must have to open the system, shut down your mobile, avoid all distraction, fix the timer. For example, 25 marks question, fix the timer of 45 minutes or 50 minutes and assume that you are sitting in the examination hall and start. Irrespectively, the question at the end of the question, either right or wrong. Assume that you are sitting in the examination hall. So that exam simulation is very important. Sir, how much question should we practice with the exam condition or exam simulation? I strongly suggest from September 18 till December 22. September 18 till December 22. You need to attempt as max as questions as you can. And you people know very well that AFM exam structure has changed since September 22. Two past exams questions are available, September 22 and December 22, with the new structure including professional skill marks. December 22, all the exam questions I will attempt here, but the September 22 exams questions you have to attempt with the exam condition must. But this is not over. You have to practice more and more questions previous. Even ACCA also published the practice exam questions, so-called with practice exam questions with professional skill marks. You can retrieve from the CB format and attempt it accordingly. That's important. Okay. So first thing is with the revision guidance, the very important, have to cover the entire syllabus area. Number two, learning techniques, and all these things you have to apply. You have to apply in a manner like exam condition or exam simulation. Okay. Number two, now this is the right time to accept the realities. It's not a dream. I know that every financial management or every AFM student has a dream that my exam must have the majority of calculation. But this is not reality. Approximately 55% theoretical and 45% calculation. You can observe there. This is a real fact. I have made a diagnosis for you people. This is what about the diagnosis? Diagnosis related to theory and calculation. AFM December 22 exams. Actually, you people know very well, total 80 technical marks that you need to attempt, right? and 20 professional marks. So total 100 marks exam, yes, but actually you need to attempt 80 marks and incorporating the professional skill marks with that 80 technical marks. That is the point. So actually you need to attempt for the 80 marks. That's, I can say that 80 marks is the cake, and icing on the cake is a professional 20 marks. With December 22 diagnosis, with question 1, examiner asked calculation 16 marks out of 40 technical marks. But theory here, examiner asked 6 plus 18. Means out of 14, 24 marks theory. For question 2, 20 marks, 10 marks calculation and 10 marks theory. For question 3, 20 marks total, 12 marks calculation and 8 marks theory. In totality, out of 80, 42 marks theory and calculation 38. That means 53% of the proportion it's theory. This is eye-opening for you. This slide is eye-opening for you. And at this point, you just close your eyes and just recall whatever you have performed till now for AFM. Just close your eyes and recall whatever you performed till now. Have you really invested same proportion of time with theory and calculation for AFM exam or for the AFM practice or preparation? Reply me. Yes or no? That you have invested 53% time theory and 48% time for the calculation. Have you done the same? Nopes. If not, this is a time to open your eyes. This is the time to open the eyes. Accept this reality. From now, you have to start your revision or start your working for the AFM in a manner that almost 55% theoretical aspect and the 45% calculation. Your preparation, your revision, your exam simulation must be with a motivation of theory and calculation simultaneous. That is the first thing. Number 2, accept another reality that examiner will ask 80 technical marks and 20 professional marks. 80 technical marks and 20 professional marks. And mark my words, it's not my words, examiner words. If you just attempt 80 technical marks, for example, one of the student attempted 100% accurate 80 technical marks and not attempted the 20 professional marks. You will not be able to pass the exam. Examiner particularly mentioned that we not only expect that you people are technically sound, but also the professional marks, how to handle the professional marks, that's also the key point. So both are important. Do remember 20 professional marks, it's not something extra to write. It's not something extra to write. That is the part of technical marks. And one more blunder you people do. What you people say is that we will cover first the technical marks, then at last 10 days we will cover the professional marks. No way, this is wrong. Practice the question in a way that you are also practicing or working of technical marks, simultaneously the technical marks. Professional and technical marks practice must be in a simultaneous manner. That both of things are important. That's the eye-opening point. So this is another important point. This is another important point. So so can you please reply me? Is this clear with this slide?